Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber 2022 annual meeting, and thank you for coming. We're running a little bit behind this morning already. Probably my fault. I was a little bit late today, but in my defense, this event is really early. Has anyone noticed that? Just by a show of hands, who would like a regional chamber brunch with a waffle bar? All right, just checking. My name is Mike Case. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Avalon Golf and Country Club, also the Grand Resort. I think she wants to sit up here. Come up here. Last night at the Grand Resort, they had a special VIP event. Oh, that's cute. That's how I felt. I was behind two school buses, and a lot of my pants have elastic waistbands now after the pandemic. Took me a long time to get ready. Anyway, we're a friend of the chamber at Avalon, and I'm really honored to be the MC today, so thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun. The annual meeting, as you probably know, is a time for the Chamber's board and staff to come together and celebrate the organization, the members of the organization, and the partners and our community, of course, as well. So we're going to present our annual awards today to an individual and an organization that are both significantly impacting our valley and its future. And we're going to present our second Valley Champion Award to a Youngstown native who made his mark on Wall Street and then wrote about his experiences there and also about his life's journey in a book that he published last summer. So we're going to hear about that too. So it's going to be fun. We're glad to welcome a lot of longtime and new sponsors to the annual meeting and are especially excited to welcome back to his hometown of Boardman, our keynote speaker. You already met him today, George Limbert. He's the president of Red Roof, and George is going to engage with our guest journalist today, Guy Vogren from the Tribune, Chronicle, and Vindicator. And they're going to have a special fireside chat without the fire, and we're going to look forward to hearing from them and all of our sponsors in just a little bit. But first, let's introduce the people up here at the front. I would like to introduce the folks at the head table, starting from my right, your left. On the end, give a wave. This is Erin Tizano. She is the Director of Sales, 100 Plus Market, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and our Spirit Award presentation sponsor for today. Let's give her a hand. Next to Aaron is Perry Gregory. He's the Senior Vice President at the National Center for Urban Solutions, our Spirit of the Valley Award recipient. Give a hand for Perry. Next to Perry is John Arnold. He's the CEO and co-founder of the J. Arnold Wealth Management Company and our Spirit of the Chamber Award recipient today. Say hi to John. I get to sit next to Mark Wennick, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Wealth Management Officer at Farmers National Bank, our breakfast sponsor for today. So a big round of applause for him. On this side, Guy Coviello is the President and CEO of the Regional Chamber. Got to clap for him, you have to. I'll clap for him. J. Derek Penn is the author of Diary of a Black Man on Wall Street, From Youngstown, Ohio to the Big Apple, and our Valley Champion Award recipient today. Hand for him, please. Next to him, George Limbert is the president of Red Roof. He is our keynote speaker for today. Guy Vogren's a reporter at the Tribune Chronicle and the Vindicator as well, and he's our fireside chat interviewer and facilitator today, so give Guy a round of applause. And finally, on the far end, Mark LaMancha is the CEO of Hometown Products and our keynote speaker sponsor. So thank you guys and ladies for being here today. I can't emphasize enough the importance of the Chamber's longtime partnerships with the sponsors of today's annual meeting. And we're fortunate that all these businesses continually support the Chamber and its initiatives, and we appreciate the generosity that allows the team to bring you more than 100 programs and events every single year. So I am very happy to first call on Farmers National Bank. Farmers has been at this table for several years, as you know, and they actually been a member of the Chamber for almost 50 years, and they're a great friend to the organization. Please welcome, for his remarks, Mr. Mark Wennick. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Wealth Management Officer. Here's Mark.
Thank you, Mike. How are you? Well, good morning. I'd like to start by thanking the Chamber for their continued commitment to a true partnership with the businesses and communities in the Valley. Guy and his team have really done a remarkable job solidifying relationships, not only with government entities and officials, but also other economic development groups, which really benefit all of us. And events like this morning, it's a great opportunity to share this information. And of course, the Chamber could not have an event like this without your participation. So we really appreciate you coming out, making the time and effort to be here. It is a pleasure being here, representing Farmers National Bank and our CEO, Kevin Helmick. As a member of this business community and the Chamber, we appreciate the opportunity to sponsor the annual meeting, and we intend to do so ongoing. This breakfast is one of the more exciting Chamber events. I mean, there's nothing more fun than recognizing those that have made a difference locally with their contributions, in addition to recognizing those Valley natives who have gone on and made their mark outside of the area. Congratulations to all of the award winners, and we look forward to hearing your comments this morning. And based upon brief presentations by both George and Derek, I think we'll be entertained very, very much this morning, and look forward to that. As a leading local financial institution, we're fortunate at Farmers to have a front seat to the recent Valley successes and are anticipating many more successes in the near future. The interest in our Valley for economic development projects is at a historical highs, and the challenge for all of us is to be in a position to provide whatever support is asked of us so we can turn these prospective opportunities into announcements. Who loves reading those announcements as they come along? At Farmers, we know something about success and are very proud of some of our recent successes, such as the completion of our merger and conversion of the Cortland banks and the recently announced intent to merge with Clare Financial in Pennsylvania. We recognize that the opportunity to grow our bank would not have occurred without the support from this community, which includes many clients and friends in this room, and the hard work and dedication of our associates. We take the phrase fiercely local, fiercely loyal seriously, and our growth and financial success ensures that we will continue to be a good, independent corporate partner and a community volunteer for the foreseeable future. Again, we appreciate being a sponsor this morning. We thank the Chamber again for organizing this event, and we thank you all for being here. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Thanks again to Farmers National Bank for its support of the Chamber, the mission that we have here, and events like this one today. So we're really excited to have them, as you know. We're going to call on Anthem and Hometown for remarks next and the introduction of our award recipients in just a few minutes. But first, I'd like to recognize and welcome additional sponsors and thank them for their support for our annual breakfast meeting. Our partner sponsors today, Akron Children's Hospital, Mahoney Valley, and Team NEO. Our patron sponsor is the Platts Realty Group, and additional support today from DeSalvo Construction, Personal Protected, Tima Roofing, and the Youngstown City School District. I'd also like to recognize the board of the Regional Chamber for its support throughout the year. The expertise and insight that they give are incredibly valuable, and they're always ready and willing to help when called on to ensure our Valley is the best place to work, the best place to live, and the best place to have some fun. I'd especially like to thank Michael Schrock, who's the Senior Vice President and Human Resource Manager at Huntington National Bank, for his leadership, his service, and commitment as the chairman of the board. And is Michael here today? Where are you at? Anybody here? Oh, there you go. There's Mike, and all the members of the Chamber's board here in attendance today, stand up if you don't mind. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you, Michael. Thanks to you guys for championing the chamber and the business community. I also want to recognize a couple of board members who finished their terms at the end of 2021. Mark Wennick is one. He is from Farmers National Bank, as you know. And Bill Shivers, Canton and Mahoney Valley Region President and Huntington National Bank. Thank them, and thank you guys for your service to the chamber and the regional boards. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, you guys. Good term, nice job. And I would be remiss if I didn't welcome today's festivities to the state and federal elected officials who are joining us. Give a wave or stand up, Ohio State Representative Mike O'Brien. Is Mike here? I thought I saw you. Oh, in the back. That's usually where I get to sit. And representing the office of United States Representative Bill Johnson, Ms. Dawn Baker. Is Dawn here? Hey, Dawn. There she is. And also, this is kind of fun, from the Ohio State Auditor's Office, Keith Faber, Perry Alexandrides, who brought some letters of commendation for our award recipients. Is Perry here? There he is. Thanks, Perry. And we'll present those today. And finally, speaking of George, we wanted to recognize George's parents, George and Pamela. You guys are here, right? If you guys wouldn't mind standing up. George is a lawyer and a retired federal judge. And Pamela is a former English teacher at Boardman High School. George says that has a lot to do with his success, so thank you. We're very proud of you. He's, of course, as a keynote in this crowd at the hometown. So all the Limberts, if you don't mind just giving a wave, I'd like to give you guys a round of applause today, if you don't mind. Thank you. We're right here in the front. And a quick note before we jump into all the award presentations today. With the Regional Chamber's signature events garnering crowds of this size, the team felt compelled to partner with various nonprofit organizations for this year and ask event attendees to donate items to worthy causes. And as you know, today we're focused on the needs of our furry friends at the local shelters. We've asked you guys today, and you delivered, donating various items such as food and supplies to benefit the Animal Welfare League of Trumbull County and also Angels for Animals. So we're glad to say those donations were just piling up outside. You can see them on your way out, and thank you again. We do have the raffle tickets here, and we're going to announce the winners in just a little bit. George drew the raffle tickets, and the folks will win a $25 gift card. So, well, let's do it right now, shall we? All right, let's go. Sorry, I got to wear these glasses. Remember a time when I didn't have to wear glasses. And some of your penmanship is not that great. All right, our first winner for a $25 gift card is Julie, and your last name starts with L. Is Julie here? It is an orange ticket. Are you waving back there? Hi, Julie, congratulations. All right, that's our first winner. Good job. I think I can read this one. Bill Ayers. Bill, you're a winner. Are you here? He's here, right in the middle, there he is. Okay, good for you. Alice B, Alice with a Y, and the last name starts with B. There she is. Alice, congratulations. And here's someone that just put their phone number, so I will read it off. Don't write it in the bathroom. 330-519-8502. Couldn't put your name, huh? All right, well, I'm not going to argue. Good job. Congratulations. We'll meet you later. Okay. Moving on to our award presentations this morning, we are excited to start with the Chamber's second Valley Champion Award. This award was created last year to honor Youngstown Warren area natives who have gone on to achieve greatness nationally or internationally and have made the Valley proud. So please welcome to present our Valley Champion Award, the Regional Chamber President and CEO, Guy Coviello.
Thank you, Mike. Last year, when we talked about doing a Valley Champion Award, we figured that there were too many times great people grew up through this community, went on to do spectacular things, and we don't maintain communication. And we need to recognize those people not only for their accomplishments, but to send a message down to the younger generation that you can grow up in the Mahoney Valley and go on and change the world. So we started this last year. When we heard about Derek Penn, it seemed a no-brainer that our second award would be Derek. Graduated from the Rayan School in the city of Youngstown, graduated from Duke University, went on to have a Wall Street career, served as an executive with some of the most prestigious firms such as Merrill Lynch, now serves on the board of directors for Charles Schwab, and to inspire everybody else back here in the Valley, authored the book last year, A Black Man on Wall Street, From Youngstown, Ohio to the Big Apple. So with that, I present our second Valley Champion Award to J. Derek Penn.
Sorry, what's that? Down here?
Oh, that's heavy.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a very heavy. Give me a hand here. Good. Well made.
The mic is mine now?
It's all yours.
Very good. You scared me with the great and changing and national hero and all that kind of stuff. I was wondering who the hell you were talking about. First of all, I want to thank the Chamber. I want to thank Guy for initially reaching out to me. I want to thank you all for getting up so early to hear me and others. When I heard it was a 7:30 breakfast, I said, nobody wants to hear me or anybody else at 7:30 in the morning, but we're here, so let's go for it. So I wrote a book, and the book is titled Diary of a Black Man on Wall Street, From Youngstown, Ohio to the Big Apple. And I wrote it for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to tell you about those in a second. And I included Youngstown in the title for a couple of reasons. I'm going to tell you why I did that as well. So I wrote the book, and quite frankly, I thought maybe I'd sell 100 books and my mom would buy 99 of them. But the book has done exceptionally well, and I'm really proud of it. And hopefully some of you have picked up the book or will pick it up after you hear me speak. I wrote the book for 3 reasons. I wrote it to inspire, to enlighten, and to inform. And let me elaborate on each one of those. So I wrote it to inspire young people of color to come to the corporate world, specifically financial services and maybe even Wall Street. So I'm hoping that a youngster may read that book and realize that they can become somebody like I became. The world of Wall Street is very underrepresented for people of color, and I'm hoping to inspire some people to consider that industry. I knew nothing about Wall Street until I was about 22 years old, and I went to business school, and I found out what Wall Street was. We didn't discuss stocks and bonds at my dining room table. We discussed what was going on in steel mills, General Motors, athletics, but never stocks and bonds. So I'm hoping that I inspire some young person to pick up my book and read about it and realize that Wall Street could be a career for them. I also wanted to inspire those that are sort of in mid-career, if you will. We all have pitfalls in mid-career, and you might consider the exit ramp or want to do something different. And I'm hoping that if you read through some of my trials and tribulations, you'll continue on. So that was the inspired part. The enlightened part was to enlighten the majority, to enlighten white people, to be specific. The trials and tribulations of a person of color in America are very different than a non-person of color. And I'm hoping through some of my stories that you will understand what people of color go through on a personal and professional basis. I've had many of my white friends reach out to me and say, Derek, I had no idea you went through the things you went through. And it's been very rewarding. We've had a two-way conversation, and I've enlightened a lot of people that have looked up to me, have worked alongside me, and it's quite rewarding, as I mentioned. So the second reason was to enlighten the majority as to what people of color go through. Our existences are very different. The third reason was to inform. Wall Street is a mystery to most people, probably a mystery to many of you in here. But I wanted to pull back the curtain a little bit, show you sort of behind the scenes what at least a sales and trading floor on Wall Street is like. And I give a number of examples, a number of stories about what goes on the sales and trading floor. So those are the three reasons I wrote the book: to inspire, to enlighten, and to inform. I purposely included Youngstown in the title, in the subtitle anyway, because I wanted people to know what Youngstown was and where I came from. So the first reason that I included Youngstown was Youngstown is in my DNA. It's part of my foundation. I think the reader gets a better idea of who I am and how I got to where I am by understanding where I came from. So that was the first reason to include Youngstown. The second reason to include Youngstown in the title is because I got my determination and my perseverance and my grit from Youngstown. I was coming in from Pittsburgh Airport. Thank you. I was coming in from Pittsburgh Airport, and I drove down Market Street, and I just wrote it down because I just remembered it. And I saw a sign, I think it's on Southern Park Mall, and it says, "You can't break a city built by steel." And that is so true. Youngstown has been on the mat so many times. It was on the mat when the steel mills closed. It had some dire circumstances during the financial crisis when General Motors closed. And the Chamber is doing a lot of great things that I've heard about through Guy and others to bring the city back. So this city gave me my determination, my fortitude to push forward and never give up. There's an expression that life exists between effort and surrender. And I can't give the proper attribution because I don't know where I heard it or who said it, but it's so true. And Youngstown taught me that effort was much more rewarding than surrender. Sometimes you get surrendered, you don't want to surrender, and it's easier to surrender. But quite frankly, Youngstown taught me that effort is quite rewarding, and I always skewed to the effort side in whatever I was doing. And I got that here in Youngstown. The third reason that Youngstown is in it, because I got obviously a lot of valuable lessons here. My parents were outstanding, and you'll see that if you read the book. But I learned teamwork here. Very little that you do in life you do on your own. There's usually a support system. There's usually somebody pushing you. There's usually a coach. There's usually a teacher, somebody. Very little that you do in life that's rewarding you do on your own. And I learned teamwork here. I played 4 sports here. I played football, basketball, baseball, I ran track. And I learned that even though in a lot of those teams I might have been the best person on the team, but I learned that I prefer to be on a team that's winning versus me getting an MVP or a most valuable player or most outstanding player. Most of the time, I thoroughly enjoyed a team championship versus a single award. I played on a team, I don't know if it's still in existence, the Buckeye Elks baseball team. And we had some great teams and we had some really bad teams. I mean, one of the teams I was on was the original Bad News Bears, quite frankly. And we just couldn't do anything right. And I made the All-Star team. I was the only person on our team that made the All-Star team. But it was a terrible existence. And yeah, I played in the All-Star game, but I would much prefer to be on a good team that did great things versus being a good player on a terrible team. So I've taken that team effort and that team philosophy, even in my management role. So I was on Wall Street for 34 years. I was a manager of a trading desk or an entire division for probably 22 of those years. And I always had the disposition that we're going to swim together, we're going to sink together. And I learned that here in Youngstown. The fourth reason, and maybe the most important reason, was that I got an appreciation for all walks of life in Youngstown. I still think Youngstown is a melting pot. I grew up with Irish people, Polish people, Puerto Rican people, German people, black people, and I got an appreciation for all of those folks. And they all had something worthwhile to offer. We all know there's good and bad in every race, ethnicity, religion, etc. But for the most part, when I grew up in Youngstown, I was overwhelmed by good people. Certainly, I had some racist incidents here that I mentioned in the book, but they were few and far in between. Overall, Youngstown was a great existence, and I'll give you an example or two. Before we bought our house on the north side, I lived on the east side with my maternal grandmother and grandfather. And my first friends that I remember were two blue-eyed blonde kids named Johnny and Ray Ray. And we were the best. I had a chocolate dad, they had a blue-eyed, blonde-haired dad. Race never played a part in any of that. And once I moved to the north side, I was heartbroken to leave Johnny and Ray Ray behind. But we had some play dates across town, that kind of thing. When I moved to the north side, I went to Harding Elementary School, which a school at that time was probably 90% Jewish. Matter of fact, there was only one other black family in the school. And I gotta tell you, the Jewish people embraced me like you never have seen before. Matter of fact, they invited me to their Boy Scout troop. I was a member of Troop 19 in the Boy Scouts that met at Temple Road of Shom. And I think a lot of the people thought I was Jewish, quite frankly. But the embracing and the love that they showed me, I'll never forget. And a lot of those people are still friends to this day. As a matter of fact, since the book has come out, and I make some very complimentary comments about the Jewish community and how they embrace me. 3 or 4 of the guys have reached out to me, and I'm still in contact with 3 or 4 of them, as I have been over the years. So that whole melting pot, that whole embracing of mankind, known as Youngstown, is something that resonated with me, and I wanted to make sure it was in the title of the book. So now I live in the Big Apple. Well, actually, I moved 65 miles north in the Hudson Valley. But my entire Wall Street career was spent living in the heart of Manhattan. And many times people would ask me where I'm from, and I would tell them Youngstown, Ohio. And they said, they may have heard of it, may not have heard of it. But I always tell them, and I mentioned this last night at our dinner, that I said, you know, if you really want to meet some real, genuine, salt-of-the-earth, honest, hardworking people, come to Youngstown, Ohio. So with that said, I want to thank the Chamber for the award. It's going to go right near the front of my memorabilia cabinet, if you will. I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you very much.
How impressive. Aren't you glad you got up now? Me too. All right, next up, I want to call on our Spirit Award presentation sponsor. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield has sponsored this event for the last 21 years, and they've been a member of the Chamber for 51 years, and we appreciate their commitment to the Valley and continued participation in our program. So please welcome for remarks, followed by the presentation of all the awards, Ms. Erin Tizano. She's the Director of Sales, 100 Plus Market. Here's Erin.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everybody. I'm very excited to be here on behalf of Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and to present the Spirit of the Valley and Spirit of the Chamber Awards this morning. The first, Spirit of the Valley, is presented to a business that has displayed exemplary leadership and commitment to the community, economic development, and overall progress of the Valley. The National Center for Urban Solutions has been focused on workforce development, education, and health and wellness in urban communities for the past 20 years. Actively working in 12 cities, including Youngstown, where NCUS, as it's known, also has an office, the organization has helped 15,000 individuals gain employment. In our Valley, NCUS is a subcontracted partner of Jobs Ohio's Ohio to Work initiative, led by the Mahoney Valley Manufacturers Coalition. Through that partnership, the organization provides job seekers with access to career counseling, training programs, and additional resources to help them increase their income and improve quality of life. Furthering that effort, under NCUS's management, the Academy for Urban Scholars' new 11,000-plus square foot education and workforce center opened in downtown Youngstown earlier this year. The Academy offers certifications in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and Google information technology, and helps to place trainees with employers. The Regional Chamber is enthusiastically supporting NCUS's application for the American Rescue Plan Good Jobs Challenge grant. If awarded the grant, the organization's current Ohio Information Technology Accelerator will continue to support underrepresented talent as they participate in IT training programs. The Chamber will assist NCUS by engaging employers in technology industry with the main goal of building a talent pipeline to support employers of the Valley. We're so pleased that Perry Gregory, son of NCUS founder John Gregory, could join us to accept the Chamber's Spirit of the Valley Award. Perry, Senior Vice President for the National Center for Urban Solutions, is a strategic workforce solutionist, spending the majority of his life following in his father's footsteps and creating change in the urban community. He has developed innovative partnerships with Fortune 500 companies and government agencies, creating thousands of jobs and career upskilling opportunities for the hardest to serve individuals across Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud our Spirit of the Valley Award recipient, the Center for Urban Solutions, and Mr. Perry Gregory.
Let me get a picture real quick. Let's do that. If you see me crying, I'm just a big crybaby. I was good at football at one point, but now I'm just a big soft guy. But I stand here today on behalf of the National Center for Urban Solutions, but really on behalf of my father, Mr. John Gregory, who is a Youngstown native that has been all across the country solving solutions in the urban community. But, you know, as I accept this award, the reason why I'm crying is because, you know, in our office, we have about 200 plaques. You know, we have plaques from President Obama. We have plaques from multiple governors for the work that we have done in our community. And, you know, I always tell Mr. Gregory, because walking in the footsteps of your father is, you know, it's a hard thing. I always wonder why Michael Jordan's kids don't play basketball. They're smart. So I tell Mr. Gregory, you know, I may not be able to do the things and get all the awards that you have gotten, but today I feel good to stand up here and be able to accept this award, particularly in this city of Youngstown, where, you know, my grandma is from, where my family has put their footprints in this community, working at places like GM. And so this is a very valuable award for us today. But most importantly, I'd like to thank the Chamber, because as we have really been in this community and doing the work, they have really been supportive of the things that we have really been trying to accomplish. 10 years ago, you know, we've been doing this thing for over 30 years, working in a lot of different urban African-American cities across the country, implementing changes through workforce, education, and health and wellness. So you may have mentioned the Academy for Urban Scholars, which is a dropout recovery high school, you know, 10 years ago. That was our first pathway to start doing some of the work that we have been doing in Columbus, Ohio. So we're proud that, you know, the Academy for Urban Scholars, serving as a non-traditional tech-based high school, is really preparing kids who have been forgotten and dropped out of high school. And, you know, the success of what they've been doing there is, you know, it's getting exciting. You know, through health and wellness, you may be familiar with the African American Male Wellness Walk that we do in partnership with Mercy Hospital and Pastor Macklin and our team here. You know, we did that about 5 years ago. I think this is going to be our 6th year. And it's focused on improving the health awareness in African-American men and improving poor health outcomes. You know, 3 years ago, under the leadership of our Youngstown team, they challenged us. They say, hey, we're getting people educated, we're getting people in health, but we're still missing out on getting them employment and getting them skills so that they can go and work at great places like, the companies who are coming to Youngstown in the Mahoney Valley right now. But out of doing all of that, what's most important is for us is that the communities that we serve and the people who live in those communities have access to living a quality life where they can provide for their families, where they can be healthy, and their kids can grow up and envision to be the great entrepreneurs, to be engineers, to be in technology. And then our students, we get students who are 70, 60 years old, been kicked out, foster kids, and now they're able to come back and get their high school diploma. And that's, for us, we're in it. We're in it for the mission. We're on a mission to help continue bringing up this community that it once was, when my grandma, when I think about when I was a kid, I used to come in Youngstown, and she would take me to the Youngstown State football games. And so we're on that mission. But I couldn't do this, I would stand up here. I'm from Columbus. So, I lead a strong, phenomenal team who is really on the ground on a daily basis and doing the work. And so under the leadership of Sabrina Jones, if this NCUS team could stand up, if you could just give them the round of applause because they're the ones who are doing the work. And I couldn't leave this stage without really thanking our partners who we are working with currently in the region. First, the Mahoney Valley Manufacturers Coalition, Jessica and her team, they've been phenomenal. MVMC, we've worked with them over the past years. We have Mercy Hospital. We did a project with them where we were getting more individuals to healthcare career pathways. And they also are a strong sponsor and supporter of the African American Male Wellness Walk. So we want to thank them. Jobs Ohio, they've been very instrumental in the work that we're currently doing with Ohio to Work. The Governor's Office of Workforce Transformation, a lot of the technology and advanced manufacturing training programs that we are doing, they have really stand up and supported our efforts. And then CareSource. CareSource serves as one of the sponsors for our Wellness Walk. And so they support a lot of the stuff that we do. And then, you heard them talk about our big initiative that we're hoping to land that we think is really going to be a great impact through the Good Jobs Challenge, working with the Chamber. So on behalf of NCUS, we thank you. If we never get an award again, just know that we are doing the